No, my finger just got jammed. Finish that later.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Late Night Take 3. We've got a fun show of a mixed bag of stuff. But first I've got Manning. Manning, how's it going?
My air condition is back working. For those who listen to Gone with the Wind last week, I have air condition now. So, yay, all around. No, I'm doing good. I got off work. I'm super tired. I don't know how people can go out Friday night during all this, because you shouldn't, because you should be staying home and listening to this or going to bed. It's a long day at work for essential workers.
And also got Matt Kearns. Matt, how's it going?
Yeah, believe me, I know that. Manning just got done with my workday as well. I hate it. Fucking hate it. Yeah, and I work in the restaurant industry, guys. So, boy, it's been a fun couple of weeks. No, but I'm happy. I'm here. We haven't had late night in a while, and yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I don't know what the fuck to say. Except that this episode of Late Night is brought to you by Rise of Skywalker, available on Blu-ray, 4K, and Matt can't fucking speak. That's every episode.
But also we've got here, and I'm probably not going to be able to do this justice, we've got the Golden God, James White. James, how's it going?
Well, that's a new nickname for me. But no, I'm doing good. And talk about restaurant industry. Well, I used to work in the restaurant industry, so I'm doing nothing at the moment. That's fun. So yeah, it's been a fun couple of weeks here. Just watching Lost again, and that's about it, man. That's about it. So yeah, I'm up to like season 3.
And we've also got the hot man Brendan Hanna. Hanna, how's it going?
You know, it's going pretty well. Malcolm, I think you said it wrong. It's the Golden Boy, James White.
That's good. That's good. And just because Christian won't let you be the hot man, you don't have to be the hat man. I mean, come on.
I am whatever you see fit to put in that asterisk. Today I am touting my Mike Trout hat that I got in the Trout Farms section of Angel Stadium. It was actually Star Wars night when I went there, and I got this hat just for sitting there.
And I mean, if Brandon ever goes,
they're like, this fucking nerd. Here's a hat. Wear it so that we can forget about you.
I mean, if Brandon ever goes camping, he'll become the hut man. So, but yeah, we've got kind of a mixed night because normally we kick off with
there's nothing going on.
Normally we kick off talking about box office, but there really isn't any box office. So, as Brandon would know all too well, but there's some sort of old news that we're going to sort of talk about. But Rosario Dawson has been cast as Ahsoka Tano in The Mandalorian. Plus, there's also rumors of Michael Biehn and Jamie Lee Curtis possibly being in it as well. James, what do you make of all that news?
I'm really excited for it. I'm not the biggest fan of Ahsoka Tano. I haven't watched all the Clone Wars. My expertise out of her is just seeing the Clone Wars film, which is not good. Seeing I'm up to like season 2.5 or 3 of the Clone Wars. I need to get back into it, but I liked kind of where the character was going, and I hear how great he really gets towards the end. And Rosario Dawson's a fantastic actress, so I think that she would be a really good choice here. I'm happy with that casting, and I think that would be a fun addition, and I would love to see a spin-off series if that is successful there, and see where we can go with just Ahsoka having her own show.
Yeah, that's true. And Manning, I think you know a little bit about Star Wars. What do you make about all this?
I do. I am not an expert. I will say, because I have not been keeping up ever since this new wave has started to really just kind of hammer down everything home. But James, I will encourage you, continue watching. The movie is horrible. It wasn't supposed to be a movie. It was supposed to be, you can feel that it's different episodes strung together in this weird plot of some kind. They were finding their footing, and by the time they get to season 5, I know that's saying a lot. But once you get there, her character grows so much, because I didn't care for her at first too. And then finally, once you get to where we are now in season 7, I guess, the final season, I love her. And so when I got this news, when it originally came out here, I was ecstatic. I never once dreamed we would get her in a live action in some capacity, at least for a while, especially in The Mandalorian, because now I kind of know where their direction is with the, can I say Mandalorian spoilers, or should I hold off, Malcolm?
Depends on what you're spoiling.
I mean,
It's the last thing in the episode.
I
mean, I don't know if everyone's seen all of.
Okay, then let's just say for stuff that happens in the very last episode, there are a certain amount of stuff that's been intertwined with the Clone Wars that now kind of makes sense, and stuff they're setting on with Dave Filoni being involved. It makes sense in the long run, and with Rosario Dawson, who's also really good, and I know she has campaigned to be in Star Wars. She says she campaigned for Ahsoka. Am I being crazy?
I heard that.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought I was crazy for a second, but I know she's a fan, and I'm excited to see what's going on here. But yeah, where they're taking Ahsoka, especially in this stage, I'm excited.
And Matt, what do you make of these Mandalorian casting news?
Yeah, Rosario Dawson, she's a great actress. It doesn't shock me, considering she did. I think she's the only actress to have done all the Marvel Netflix stuff. So her working with Disney again just kind of makes sense. She's a great actress. She's also like a gigantic nerd. So you know that like this isn't like some person who's just like, oh, I want to be in Star Wars just to get famous. It's, you know, I'm way more interested in Michael Biehn. He's one of my favorite actors. I think he's a very underrated actor because he never quite became a movie star. Like, I feel like he could have. And the notion of him possibly being a villain just means we get Johnny Rico in Star Wars. Just makes me happy. So yes, please make it happen, because then that means we might get Val Kilmer and Kurt Russell in Star Wars as well. And who doesn't want to see that? Pretty much I want Mandalorian Season 2 to just be Tombstone.
I was about to say,
Star
what do you
Wars. But Star Wars.
No, I wish Howard Booth was still alive for that.
Ooh, yeah. Now, just to clarify, real quick, Rosario Dawson in 2017 told a Twitter follower, because apparently that's where everything comes from, she would love to be Ahsoka. There you go. So she did say it.
She said it like that. She's like, I would love to be Ahsoka.
Yes, she said she would be eager to portray Ahsoka. Quote, eager.
And Brandon, what do you make of this Mandalorian news?
Wait, if we're going to be talking about Ahsoka, I need to take my Trout hat off and replace it with my Dave Filoni hat.
Hey!
Okay. No, I'm really excited. I hope this certainly pans out. This is something like people have been talking about Rosario Dawson in this role for quite some time. So it was really a pleasant surprise to see it essentially get confirmed that she will be playing this character. And it makes perfect sense with Dave Filoni having such a heavy hand with Jon Favreau on The Mandalorian, that he would bring this character that he's created and cherished for years now into the fold. So yeah, I'm super excited, just like everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like I've also was someone that wasn't a big fan of Ahsoka Tano from the start, but it was actually Star Wars Rebels which made me become a fan of her. And seeing her sort of back in live action around that same time period is, oh no, it's not. It's a little bit later, but anyway,
details.
But anyway, it's exciting.
Star Wars, bro?
When it comes to casting, it's like I'm not going to count anyone out. Like as in the casting, always comes down to sort of how I see him on screen when it actually is on in front of me. Because I mean, it's one of those ones like so many casting has been poo-pooed when it's been announced, and then everyone's like, "Oh yeah, I really like them." In the world now, I've now actually seen it. But yeah, and Michael Biehn and Jamie Lee Curtis, but fun, and also we've got JDH in the chat here.
How dare you, sir? I'm Dave Filoni. I don't know why every single cowboy has to be compared to John Roca. John Roca didn't invent cowboys, and actually, be like, yeah, keep that going. That's a good impression. Keep that going. I like that.
If you're gonna do Dave, you gotta. He's just always happy because it's Star Wars. It's John and me. Ahsoka Rosario. She's I mean, it's is Ahsoka alive? I guess. But you know why, Manning? You know why she might be alive?
Why?
Because it's like poetry. It rhymes.
Rhymes.
Every stanza kind of rhymes with the last.
You're amazing, George. Where's your girl?
Thank you, George Lucas. I know.
But yeah, to go away from Star Wars, but you'd stay under the Disney umbrella. Other things that news will sort of come out just today actually is Disney has announced that they're going to put Artemis Fowl straight onto Disney Plus, and they've also essentially the whole MCU has sort of moved back a few months. Like Black Widow's gone to November 6th, Eternals moved to February, then it's pushed everything else sort of back. But James, what do you make of Artemis Fowl going straight to Disney Plus and the new release date for Black Widow?
Look, I'm not surprised. Of all the movies that they could have put on Disney Plus instead of having a theatrical, I think Artemis Fowl is probably the best bet because that looked like it was going to be a complete bomb. That looks, I mean, everything that you look from it, production-wise, the trailer, it doesn't look like it's a good movie. It just had so many different issues in getting to where we are now that I think it's what they had to do because there's not going to be any real openings the rest of this year, really into next year with everything getting pushed so much that it's going to be up against all these really huge tent poles that actually when they do get released, no matter where they release it. So it's their best bet to have any sort of traction is just drop it on Disney Plus, hope people enjoy it, and maybe it gets a word of mouth that you can, get everything out of it that you put into it. But right now, there's just no way that it's going to do well theatrically. So this makes complete sense.
And Brandon, what do you sort of make of all this?
Wait, we're talking Artemis Fowl? That means I gotta take this hat off.
Wow, you do have a lot of
Carrot Top?
No, listen. You see, Trout Farms is right next to the left field foul pole.
Another one.
So we're going back to this for a minute here.
I'd like to think behind Brandon's webcam, there's just like hats upon hats.
No, it's just Alex standing there handing him different hats every 5 seconds.
I do have a lot of hats up here. Most of them are Mets hats. Like 95% of them are Mets hats.
That's good.
But yeah, I agree with what the Gator had to say. Rest in peace, the Gator. He's the golden boy now. But
maybe.
But yeah, no, this one makes sense to be going to Disney Plus. I don't think this will become a trend with other movies. I think they're just going to keep pushing all the major ones back further and further as long as they can because I mean they'll just lose a ton of money that way. So yeah, I was never really a huge fan of the books. I never really read them, but I'll probably check it out once it gets on streaming.
Yeah. Matt, what do you make of the Artemis Fowl news?
I've never seen a trailer for Artemis Fowl. I've only seen that poster. And based on that solely, I was probably going to wait until it came out on Disney Plus to see it anyway. So this just cuts out the middleman of it sitting in theaters before I can see it. So, all right. I agree with James. I think out of all the movies that they're pushing back to have put on Disney Plus, this one does make the most sense. There really was just no hype train being built for this. And I think Disney just saw that, like, everything that's getting pushed back, like Top Gun just got pushed back. James Bond was one of the first to get pushed back. Like, they just knew this would be dead in the water. So just, like, cut their losses and just put it on Disney Plus and hope it does something. So,
yeah. Manning, what do you make of this?
As we kind of talked on Gone with the Wind a couple weeks ago, when things really started to get pushed back, it was only a matter of time. It's already a crowded field. By the time we really get to movies coming back, probably in the July, if that, because Lord knows how long this entire COVID-19 thing is going to continue. By that time, will be so saturated with a specific amount of movies at the very end of the year, you're only going to be able to have time for like a couple of blockbusters and then some Oscar and maybe a couple of like Halloween movies, because we are going to have so many movies trying to fight for specific places. And because, you know, Disney owns a lot of the a lot of movies coming out, they need to think and they need to actually decide what they want to go up against. I think this was economically and financially the best bet, because Artemis Fowl, again, no offense to Artemis Fowl, the trailers didn't look good, the poster didn't look good. It really didn't look good at all. I never read the books though, so grain of salt. However, that being said, I think this may not be the last one we'll hear, depending on how this goes longer. Mulan could be taken to streaming, possibly. I don't think so. I don't want it to, but I don't think this is the last one we'll see, sadly.
Yeah, but yeah, like just like everyone else sort of said, this does make sense because I don't think a lot of people really know much about the books. Anyway, I think the books will only sort of appeal to a really small demographic. So the making this move makes a bit of sense, because they probably felt like that they didn't think it was going to make money, and like they couldn't really find a spot to throw it later in the years. It was like, let's put it on Disney Plus. It's done. Let's see what happens. But yeah, but Manning did sort of mention something interesting that I'm going to sort of touch on a little bit. Is next year's Oscars is going to be really interesting this year. Because of Ken Knapsack's prediction that he made on the Smoshno reunion about Sonic the Hedgehog getting Best Picture could very well come to pass if this takes out all the movies going forward.
No. No. Invisible Man will sweep everything.
I don't know. Emma's getting costume probably. You got that.
Okay.
Look, we're missing the fact that because of this, Ben Affleck and Tom Cruise are going to go up against each other for Best Actor. And who doesn't want that? It's going to be amazing.
What's Tom Cruise going up for?
I mean,
Top Gun Maverick, obviously.
How do we know that's not out yet?
Because it's coming out in December. It's been moved to December, which is Oscar season, Manning.
Or now. I mean,
you know
at the moment,
what they should do for the Oscars? If there's no real movies left to release this year, let's just hypothetically say we don't have any more big movies released this year. They need to do a revisionist Oscars. So you go back to like 2001 and you would say, all right, it's been 20 years. It's been 20 years. We're going to revisit the movies of this decade or something and just do a revisionist one. Just do something fun.
Or
I think giving Tom Cruise his deserved Oscar would be fun, James.
Well, we can get it from Magnolia. I'll be glad to give him for that. But hypothetically speaking, we could go like we did back in like the OG time, 1927, 1928, where they combined a year.
Combined 2 years.
2 years. There you go. Everyone's happy.
I mean,
hopefully we get a better movie than Wings.
Yeah. I mean, the other one, which is I think would be really funny if they started doing, is like do it at mid-morning. These are all the movies that could have come out last year that we unfortunately lost.
That's the in memoriam.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Sarah McLachlan singing "In the Arms of the Angels" for Tenet.
I mean, honestly, I think what they'll probably do if this does sort of go into the end of the year, I think they probably will do sort of not so much what Manning sort of suggests about the combining year, but they probably won't do an Oscars next year because it's like to run the risk of because I mean. But if the Oscars happen, it means the animated film is pretty much set for onwards.
Look, way back deserves to get some Oscar nominations, and if it gets fucked because of this, I will find COVID because it's definitely there's a humanoid version of this, and I will beat it up. There probably is. Okay, it's
Kearns,
like Skynet.
Kearns, I present this to you. If it was not Ben Affleck in the main role, would it still be a good movie?
I don't know. That's like saying if the game didn't have Orson Welles, would it still be a good movie? You know, Actors
Orson
are just
Welles
as important as
kind of
screenplay
wrote
and
and
director and all
directed
those
Yeah, I
things.
was about to say.
Also, technically, isn't it Legion now?
Well, that's different. That's a different timeline, Malcolm. And actually, if you watch Terminator 3: Rise of the Machines, there is no physical system core. It's software in cyberspace, as Nick Stahl will tell you in his little
but that movie also
voiceover
doesn't
at the end.
exist.
It
Dark
does
Fate
exist,
made
though.
it not exist.
No, you see, there's just different timelines, and I could still put it in my Blu-ray player, and I can watch it, and it exists.
It does.
Yeah.
But Terminator Genesis does not exist.
I have a friend who might disagree with you on that. He actually knows more about the Terminator films than any of us.
Is your friend James Cameron?
No. I'll go get him. Here, buddy, tell him all about the Terminator movies. Oh, yes, it is me, Arnold Schwarzenegger. I know more about the Terminator movies. Do you know why, Brandon? Because I am the Terminator. And fuck you, I'm the Hot Man. Did you see my biceps in Terminator Dark Fate? They were amazing. And I had the beard, and that was Carl. I was Carl. I made the carpets and the drapes. It was all amazing. It's super fantastic. By the way, Terminator 3 was great. You know why? Because the evil Terminator, she could grow a breast breed. Because, some guys, they like big breasts. Other guys, they like little breasts, It's just for everyone. You can hear more about my thoughts on that in the audio commentary. But everyone should go watch Dark Fate. You're stuck in your houses now. So it's bullshit if you say you don't have time to see it. Don't be an ass. Stay at home and buy my t-shirts. Bye, everybody.
Sounded like Arnold Schwarzenegger just swallowed Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah, well, you're doing a shitty cosplay of Dan Merle, James, so no one asked you.
Oh.
This is just how I dress.
You just dress like Dan Merle on a regular basis.
No, this is a Florida Gators hat, not an FSU hat. Excuse you.
If you want, I can cosplay as Ben Bateman cosplaying as Dan Merle.
That's like an inception in an inception.
I'm just a dude playing a dude pretending to be another dude.
What do you mean, you people? What do you mean, you people?
But anyway, we're going to go on to a topic that our good friend JDH has suggested for us to talk about, and that is Game Facts is doing a video games of 2010s tournament at the moment. So he wants us to talk about what some of our favorite video games from the 2010s, and I'll start with Brandon.
Oh wow! I mean, I'm not a huge gamer. In the past, I've played a decent amount of the Batman Arkham games, particularly Arkham Knight, because you get to drive around the Batmobile. And there's a million different skins, and you could be the Tim Burton Batman or the Christopher Nolan Batman. And, I just like driving around beating up bad guys. It's a dumbed down version of Grand Theft Auto, but I don't care because I'm Batman. Also, Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War, pretty good. And basically every version of MLB The Show.
Matt, what are some of your favorite video games from the 2010s?
See, I don't really play video games from nowadays, but of the games I've played from the 2010s, NHL's pretty good. Play that. I don't despise Battlefront 2, but I also don't own it. I just play with my brother, so kicking the shit out of him when we play, it's fun, but I own a Super Nintendo, so they don't make those games anymore.
What?
So, well, technically I own a Retro Duo, which is a Super Nintendo and an NES in one. So, but yeah, so.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure me and Manning will have one in common, but Manning was some of your favorite video games of the 2010s.
Okay, well, wow. Okay, quick aside. I'll let Malcolm talk about it first there because I know he's going to talk about it. But the other games I love Telltale's The Walking Dead Season 1. For those who have played that was an excellent game. I mean, before Telltale, that entire fiasco occurred. But that first season was just an excellent story told. And even though it was kind of more point and click, I played it on the console. I still really and thoroughly enjoyed it. Another highlight is I I've still play Skyrim to this day. Just sometimes I'm going to pop it in. Elder Scrolls Skyrim is still just a fun game to just get lost in for a couple of hours and just, just be the Dragonborn and go kill some dragons, collect some Elder Scrolls. And then finally, I need to pick out another one. I didn't know 2010s. Now I'm trying to condense like what happened. Matt, I guess, does Mass Effect 2 come out in the 2010s? Right? Yeah. Mass Effect 2. That was another great RPG. I love RPGs, man. That's probably my bread and butter. So I'm going to go say that. I'm going to say Mass Effect 2, another great game. And I'll let you talk about the other game that, while not as good as the other ones, is still a lot of fun. Malcolm, you may talk about that.
James, what have you played a lot of video games in 2010s?
Oh god, dude. I'm really a bad one to ask. I have a PS4 and an Xbox One that are both basically glorified Roku boxes because I just use them to watch Netflix and Amazon Prime and YouTube and all that stuff. I hardly ever play any games anymore. It's so bad. I bought my PS4 literally just to play MLB The Show. I bought it like 4 years ago, so I have 4 different copies of MLB The Show. I like Uncharted. I don't know when that came out first, so trying to narrow down dates are really bad. So the Uncharted series. Spider-Man for PS4 is fantastic. Let's see. Red Dead Redemption and Red Dead Redemption 2. I love those. I like open world games where I can just go put 60 hours into it. My problem is I'll play a game nonstop for like a week, and then I'll be like, oh crap, I gotta stop playing this or I'm gonna beat it too soon, and then I never go back.
But yeah, quite ironically, I don't really, I haven't really gamed a lot these days myself. But like for me, some of the ones I really loved, like Spider-Man, God of War, up there. There's been a whole lot of Lego games that been out in the 20s.
The Lego games are great.
Yeah.
They are. And even though it's not as good as the other 2 games in the series, it's Kingdom Hearts 3. And it's just a lot of fun. I mean, just the fact they brought in a lot. It was a lot of new rules that they didn't have it with a couple of repeats, but and the fact that they managed to get a whole lot of new ones. It was a really long wait for it, but it was worth it.
I'm also a liar. I own a Switch. I don't know why I said I just don't. I own a Switch. That shows you how often I
Super Nintendo
play
right
video
there.
games. Shows you how often I play video. You want to know what the most played game on here is? Star Wars Pinball. It's the most played game, which is a fun game, by the way. I'm just like, I look over and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I do own one of those.
What, you're not Animal Crossing up with everybody else?
I was about to say.
Fuck no. I never liked those games when they came out when I was a kid.
I didn't either, but still.
Yeah, that sounds fun to me. Just fucking walking around with a bunch of animals.
Yeah.
Hey,
sounds as fun
maybe.
as a live action version of Lion King that is all CG.
Yeah.
It's not real Lion King. The real Lion King is the one that I'm working on now, which because of this whole quarantine thing has had to be stopped, but it's gonna come out one day, guys. It's gonna have real lions. Okay, it's gonna be amazing. It's like real ones.
Are you teaching lions how to speak? Otherwise, it's just a nature document.
You'll see. You'll see. James Earl Jones might still be in it. He's wearing conversation. By that, I mean I sat outside his house for a couple of hours, and then the cops came, and they told me. It also wasn't the real one. It was just a guy named James Jones that I found in the Yellow Pages.
Just imagine you superimposing James Earl Jones' mouth onto a lion as you try to get it to talk. I want to watch this movie. Let me know when it's done.
Fuck yeah. I'm definitely maybe not doing that. Also, Matthew Broderick is so going to be my version.
Nice.
But yeah, we've kind of already touched about the movie being moved and streaming services and stuff. But our good friend Ryan Permerson wants us to sort of talk about what is our sort of Mount Rushmore of film composers. And this is a interesting question. I'm going to actually throw it to Matt first.
Why the fuck did you not tell us this beforehand so I could actually work on a list?
Right. I've got 3.
That's great, James, but I believe he said he would throw to Matt first.
I know, but I'm saying you should be able to get 3 or 4 right off the top of your head.
Yeah,
Come on.
I'm just saying. I could have had it more. Well, John Williams is, of course, number 1. Then, for me, James Horner, James Newton Howard. And who would be number 4? I mean, Hans Zimmer and David Arnold kind of tie because I love Stargate Independence Day's scores. Yeah, I'm gonna put David Arnold because I like Hans Zimmer, but yeah, David Arnold. So that's probably my 4.
And Manning.
See, this is going to be interesting because I'm now currently going through and trying to objectively find out who are the 4 people that would
I'm
be.
taking one of those off and putting out Silvestrion.
Just about to
say,
that's another good one. Like Bernard Herrmann, I want to get him in there just for the fact of his collaborations with Hitchcock, Psycho specifically. He's did so much for that genre, and then John Williams is the obvious choice. You can't not have him. Howard Shore, just because the Lord of the Rings soundtrack for me personally is just like the pinnacle of just trilogy soundtracks, even though his other stuff outside of that has not resonated personally with me. But see, this is what I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Could you come back to me?
Yeah, James.
The top 3 for me are really easy. It's John Williams, Alan Silvestri, and James Horner. And then 4, I think right now, just to give him some love, and because every one of his scores is really touching, no matter whether he's doing film or TV, I'll give it to Michael Giacchino.
Brandon.
Okay, I've had some time to think. I think I've got this. I could be wrong. We'll see. John Williams, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
What is my hat? It is a Mike Trout hat, Brienne. It's from Trout Farms. Left field foul pole, right next to the bullpen. You get it for free if you sit there. So sit here when the virus is over. Okay.
Wait, so some guy just randomly walked up to you and was like, "Here's your hat for."
No, it's like when you sit in the stands and they either give you a free T-shirt to sit in that section, or you got a free hat with a little fish on it.
Well, I had to go claim
That's an
the hat.
awesome
They had like a little booth. They had a booth.
Oh,
I had
okay.
to go to.
Because
Yeah.
I'm like, I just imagine Brandon sitting there watching a game and some guy was like, "Here's your hat." He's like, "All right."
And it was on Star Wars night. But anyway, John Williams, Jerry Goldsmith, Danny Elfman, and Alan Silvestri.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You could put Elfman in there just for Beetlejuice and Batman.
And Dick Tracy.
Yeah.
I don't know the Dick Tracy score.
Even his Spider-Man score is incredible.
He
Like,
also did the theme for the Flash 1990 series.
Ooh.
But yeah, for me, it's probably going to be John Williams, Alan Silvestri, Hans Zimmer are probably the 3 major ones. And then the 4th one, I probably will actually give it to Michael Giacchino as well. Like the scores that he's done is amazing. Especially, I love what he did with the Lost one by incorporating some of the fuselage in there. But yeah,
honestly, I was watching some of The Incredibles the other night, and the scene when Bob is in his office and he gets the message from Mirage, and he looks at like his wall. That fucking music is incredible.
Just the Incredibles theme, just that.
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da-da, so good.
yeah, and for me, Michael Giacchino's Lost score is amazing.
Yeah,
I've seen the show, just not since it was like on air, so I really don't remember.
It's
music.
really good, but
That's really what I've been really listening to it this time around, because this is the first time I've really rewatched the series since it was on the air, and I don't think I knew Giacchino did it when I first watched it, or if I did, I just had forgotten it. But everything is just like, those themes are so well done, and it just
I also like the
enhances
Rogue One score, honestly, from him.
What was it?
I also like the Rogue One score. I know it's not the best Star Wars
Same.
score, but I like it.
It's a
I
solid
really
score.
enjoy it.
100%.
Yeah.
yeah. And Brienne, for in the chat, for up there before, John Barry is another good composer out there. I'm not going to lie, I don't know much of what he's done outside of James Bond, but
Okay, I think I have something. I'm not marrying myself to it, but
He's just
What-
moving in with it.
we're
Brienne.
working things
Hi,
out. We're working things out.
It's complicated.
It's complicated. Put that relationship status.
Look, this is Mount Rushmore. You're chiseling this in stone.
Don't do this to me, James. All right.
Okay,
I've already gotten attacked.
he's not chiseling
William.
stone yet. He's
I'm drawing it out. I'm drawing it out. I'm drawing it on
We all
graphic.
have to get tattoos of our Mount Rushmore, by the way. I don't know if you knew that.
What?
Sweet.
Well, then you know what? Here we go. Williams, Zimmer, Herman, and then probably Goldsmith. Those are the four I probably would have. Sure, so close, but there you go. I might switch it out tomorrow. We'll find out.
May will go live on this channel just to let you guys know. Just
5
keep you
minutes.
updated.
I'm sorry.
That's what we should do, honestly. When we're all quarantined, just like randomly one day, everyone just like goes live for like 30 seconds. You just say, like, you just put a random list. You don't make a description. You just say, like, John Williams, Alan Silvestri, James Horner, Jared Goldsmith. And then you just cut the video off and just leave people to figure out what you're talking about.
But I mean, while we are talking a little bit about, because I know we did mention some TV shows. But what is some of your favorite TV shows? I'll start with Brandon.
Well, I mean,
We're
Lost.
just making lists at this point.
No, this is fun.
Lost is my
There's nothing
favorite
better
show of all time. Lost is absolutely my favorite show of all time. I love every second of it. Don't debate me about the finale or how it ends. If you come at me and try to say they're in purgatory the whole time, I'm going to punch you in the face because you're not paying attention. But
we met Dr. Arts.
I met Dr. Arts, yeah. The great, oh man, now you made me forget his real life name, and I feel Daniel Roebuck.
Yes.
Close one. Oh,
Hey.
punished by the universe already. But I also, even though I'm not caught up on the most current season, I really love The Expanse, which started off on the Sci-Fi Channel, but is now on Amazon Prime. And let's see, does anything else really come to mind? Obviously, the goofy comedies like The Office and Parks and Rec, I've seen it all, love it. But yeah, those are the ones that I immediately think of. Janine the Machine.
Where's Janine?
The greatest 0-3 team the fan leagues have ever
No
seen.
shit. And talk about a logo, man. She killed it with that logo.
But
James, thinking about the
Janine
family.
just commented.
Oh
Just
yes, Love is
reminds me
Blind.
of that time I tried to be your manager.
Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't work.
You have to submit a formal application, Kearns. You didn't know that?
Yeah, no, I didn't.
Process.
But one of my favorite TV shows, I'm surprised Brandon didn't say because he's on the after show for it, is Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist.
Why are you gonna throw me under the bus like that, Malcolm? Wow,
He's gonna lose his job now.
Yeah.
Malcolm's
Gosh.
trying to take your job. Actually,
I've just been informed I've been fired because I'm not as big enough of a super fan of the show.
But I mean,
Now he's got to break the song. Now he's got to be like, "All around me are familiar places."
I don't know all the words to that song, but I can like just visually give you the look like I'm thinking it.
but yeah, James, what are some of your favorite TV shows?
You're just going with the one, Malcolm? You're not gonna list some more?
No, he'll list them when it gets back
okay.
to him.
No, you're fine. Let me see. Parks and Rec, one of my favorite shows of all time. The Wire. The Wire is one of the greatest dramas of all time. If you haven't seen it, watch it. If you have seen it, watch it again. I'm getting ready to start another rewatch soon. Each season is so different, but they all tie in together. It's so great. Let me look at my TV wall because Game of Thrones, obviously Game of Thrones. Doctor Who, loved the new Who stuff up until like 3 years ago, and then I stopped watching. The writing got really bad. Let me see. Fraggle Rock. Yeah, Fraggle Rock was a great show. I love that one.
Fraggle Rock.
Lots of old Nick shows, dude. I loved like Clarissa Explains It All. Veronica Mars. Veronica Mars is a great show. I don't know. A lot of older TV. I don't really watch much now. The Good Place. Any of the Mike Schur stuff. So anything from Fremulon. That's fantastic stuff. I generally like comedies if I'm gonna watch TV, but I do love a good hour-long drama. I was really into to procedurals for a while, so I watched a lot of NCIS and CSI and stuff like that, and then kind of got out of that one. So
did you think you could be a cop?
I at one point I wanted to be a cop when I was growing up, and then
I have to say, my freshman year of high school, I got really into Law and Order SVU, and I was like, I can do this. I can be a cop. I can do it.
No, I was planning on doing pre-law. Actually, I was going to go to law school when I was in college, and just things happened, and I didn't go that route. But I love legal things, so I'm really into like legal movies.
Did you ever watch Boston Legal?
Boston Legal is great.
Fuck, I love that show.
Boston Legal is great, and JAG and all this stuff. Even the Franklin and Bash, that show with Mark Paul Gosselaar and Breckin Meyer, dude, that show was great on TNT. Yes, Clarissa was the best.
But
and she had a pet gator.
Manning, what are some of your favorite TV shows?
I actually have a question for James. When you said you watch a lot of old shows, how old are we talking about? Like, what is that period that you're like, those are the ones I watched?
Well, I mean, when I was growing up, I was a 90s kid, but when I was in my youth, I was watching a lot of Nick at Night and stuff. So growing up as a kid, I was watching I Love Lucy and Moon, and the Honeymooners and a lot of these old black and white shows. When I was in the car, my mom would listen to oldie stations, so I know much more about the Beatles and the Beach Boys than I do about Cardi B or Billie Eilish. So I know my historical shows, Twilight Zone, The Munsters, all that good stuff. But I love the 90s shows, Family Matters, Full House, all that good stuff, TGIF.
No joke, when this whole COVID-19 thing was started, I went to my supervisor at work. I was talking to him, I was like, I honestly feel like at one point Ron Sterling's just going to walk out. Like, it just feels like we're in a Twilight Zone episode at this point.
Wouldn't that be nice? We just go to commercial, come back, and it's a whole new episode? That'd be great.
Oh, we went right to I Love Lucy next. I love it. Where's the chocolate conveyor belt?
Vitamin Regiment for the win. Let's go.
So Twilight Zone, yes, the original with Rod Sterling, that's one of my favorite shows, bar none. Just the creativity they had back then to create these interesting. There is one particular episode, just everyone go watch that one. It's adapted on from another short story that I can't recall the name, but it's 5 strangers in search of an exit, or 5 characters in search of an exit. Go find that one if you can. It is 5 characters that you have no idea who they are. They don't have any recollection of what they are. They're trapped in this cylindrical cone of some kind, or this cylinder of some kind, and they don't know how to get out, where they came from, and it's just them interacting and having this existential crisis. So if you guys have a chance to go see that, go see it. You got time. We got time for a while. Go see that. That is an excellent episode for the Twilight Zone.
And all the Twilight Zone is on Hulu right now.
Oh,
there
really?
you go. Perfect. And free trials.
I didn't know that.
I don't have it.
Yep, Twilight Zone is on Hulu. I just looked at it yesterday.
And then quickly for some other ones, the Dick Van Dyke Show is a special place in my heart.
Yes.
Maury Amsterdam, Rosemary.
Rosemary. Yep. That episode where she gets her toe stuck in the faucet in the bathtub. Yeah.
There's so many.
The walnut episode.
Just get up the entire faucet.
I mean, we all know the funniest episode of that show is when he thinks they got the wrong baby.
That is also another great one.
I'm not going to ruin it for people who haven't seen it, but I just have to say when the door opens, I love it.
Yeah.
And of course, a contemporary one that I'll just throw in there since I talked about some old ones. Westworld. Westworld is something that I literally have written paragraphs on just for school, because I'm like, this is so fascinating. I love the ideas that they present from a filmmaking perspective. Lisa Joy and Jonathan Nolan do great work with that, in my opinion. And I thoroughly think what they have done is great. However,
I love season 1, but I haven't really heard good things about 2 and 3.
3 I have not watched yet, but 2, that's
because Manning hasn't released his video essay on his channel.
Yeah,
on Westworld.
No, I haven't yet. I'm still working on that one because I'm so behind on Westworld. So, yeah.
Oh, one show that I did watch recently. Sorry to be hijacking this one is Big Little Lies. Dude, that show is so good. I binged that in like 3 days. Just could not stop watching it. So good.
But Matt, what are some of your favorite TV shows?
I actually have my top 10 prep for this one. I wrote this because I was doing a thing and I needed to figure out my top 10 shows. So this is as of right now. So number 10, got Family Ties. Who doesn't love Family Ties? It's fucking great. It's one of Michael J. Fox's greatest roles. Number 9. I know it's new, but Cobra Kai. Freaking love that show. And I feel like when it gets to the end of its run, if it stays the way it's been for these first 2 seasons, it'll probably go up. Number 8, Psych. Here's why it's so low. It's because I only saw it fairly recently. But I love that show. And Peacock needs to come out because I want my goddamn sequel to the movie. Number 7, Spin City. Once again, who doesn't love Michael J. Fox? Number 6, That 70 Show. Number 5, Timeless. Malcolm, you know it.
Timeless? What's Timeless?
It was you can hear all about Timeless on the Matt Movies 611 YouTube channel as I do my episode by episode review starting soon. You can learn all about it. You can watch episode by episode with me. It's if you're being legitimate, I don't know if you are, James.
No, I've never heard of Timeless.
Yeah, so it was Timeless. It's a NBC show about this guy who's kind of like Bill Gates, Steve Jobs creates a time machine, and this terrorist steals it. And they have to go. There's a team of.
I vaguely remember that.
It's It stars Matt Lantern, who's Anakin from Clone Wars. But so it's 3 people. Matt Lantern plays a soldier. Abigail Spencer plays a historian, and then there's the pilot. And pretty much the show is they figure out where this terrorist is going. They have to go and stop him. And he's trying to, like, the first episode is about the Hindenburg. Like, he prevents the Hindenburg, and they're like, why would he do that? And that's kind of the whole thing of the show is them trying to find this guy. And then there's some other things. And I don't want to say too much because it's a really great show that more people should watch. And enough didn't because it got canceled too soon. Fuckers. Number 4. This is really just because I've been watching the show since I was a kid, but Growing Pains. I love that show. My favorite of those old sitcoms. Number 3, Star Trek The Original Series. I love TNG, but I'm an original series guy. Number 2, Parks and Rec. Number 1, The Office, the US version. My favorite show of all time.
The Office with mine too.
It's my favorite show of all time. I pretty much when I'm bored, I just like start like Office marathons and just watch for all 9 seasons. It's pretty much what I do.
Respect.
I'm in the middle of season 4 right now.
I'm also a big Parks and Rec fan. You can check out the Parks and Rec 4-meter random match that just happened the other day.
I'm still mad at you. I yelled and screamed for a Parks and Rec full random match for a year and didn't get it until after I left the full random.
Oh, look, James.
I see how it is, Malcolm. He was like, wait, as soon as he leaves, I'm dropping it.
Well, I mean, to be fair, there's a really long list of random matches that people are throwing out there.
I know, I'm just giving you shit, Malcolm.
But yeah. I've also just recently started watching The Office, and I'm really enjoying it.
Really? You never watched it before?
No.
It just made it to New Zealand, all right?
they're like Eastern or Western Europe. You know, it's like the Eastern Bloc countries.
Did you guys see that there was like, I'm not sure how long it happened ago, but there was like there's an Indian version of The Office. I think my favorite thing that I saw were all the comments were, so does that mean a white girl plays Kelly?
I mean, it's why I didn't mind writing the match in The Office, which is why I got Matt's help just to make sure.
I wrote most of that match. What are you talking about? You're like, I didn't mind writing the match. Yeah, I wrote. My favorite thing was Malcolm was like, hey, can you help me with this? He gave me the Google Doc. I just like one night just wrote like 50 questions. I was like, do you need more? He was like, no, that's probably enough.
But yeah, I also really enjoyed Clarissa Explains It All that, Keenan and Kel, a lot of those Nick shows. Charmed is one of my favorite shows. The original one, the new one is fine. It just doesn't have that same kind of feel to it. Lost, looking at my TV,
Manning just seems like he's freaking
Yes.
out.
Wow, what Malcolm's quickly looking. I completely forgot. The Crown. I adore The Crown. Those drama, those first 2 seasons is like period drama. I love it. I love it.
yeah?
I've been meaning to start.
You know what I love? I love The West Wing because I'm an
dude.
American.
West Wing's also really good. I
I've
agree.
never seen a single episode. This is the first American political show I thought about.
You've never seen The West Wing?
It's really
No.
Dude, it's so good.
Aaron Sorkin.
Matt, it won an Emmy.
Oh yeah, it won an Emmy. Obviously, I should have seen it and loved it.
No, it's really, really good.
I know.
Really good.
That's what I hear.
I mean, I also haven't
Well, I
seen The
don't
West
fight
Wing.
it. I'm not gonna watch it out of spite.
But I know I'm probably gonna get shit for this one, but I'm a really big fan of Glee.
I liked the first 2 seasons of Glee, and then I stopped.
Oh, Malcolm. I've never seen a single episode of that either. So.
But yeah, I could go on for that. One of the recent shows I have that came out last year that I've gotten into is Manifest, which is kind of like the Lost show, but it's different in a way as well.
I also like how Malcolm stopped himself from saying I could go on for days. It's like, but I do have one more I could talk about.
He is the host. He can stop this whenever he wants to.
Before we move on, I can't let it go by without at least giving some love to the Disney afternoon cartoons as well. We got to give some love to Rescue Rangers and Darkwing Duck and DuckTales and Tailspin. I can't let it happen.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I've just sort of started watching the new DuckTales finally.
DuckTales, woo!
I
had to do that.
But yeah, another question that JDH has given to us. What are some?
Hitman didn't get to talk about anything.
I did.
He went first.
Oh, he
I
did
mean-
first.
We didn't talk for so long.
It was just
This is
45
always
minutes
one
ago,
of
so you
those,
I
forgot.
didn't even remember that he talked about anything.
Everything I
I
said
mean-
was insanely important, and you should have been taking notes.
I'm
I
sorry.
mean, I instantly gave him shit about Zoe's straight after.
Yeah.
Yeah, see you again.
Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist is a great show, and you should be watching
Remember?
it.
That iconic comeback.
And
No.
Kearns, I do have a very important question for you. Your original series over Next Generation,
Yes.
but where do you stand on Kirk versus Picard?
I'm a Kirk man.
You're
100%.
smart man,
Mhm.
Kearns.
I
You're
like
smart
Picard,
man.
but I'm Kirk. But you can hear more about that on Rhyme and Reason's 2-part Star Trek discussion, which is on this channel. Also, when it comes to TNG universe, I'm a Riker person over Picard.
Oh,
Riker's
you know,
Riker's my boy.
I don't hate that. I mean, Riker, he's always piloting Picard's ship, you know, because Picard's always off doing something stupid.
Riker's my boy.
But going on to the next one, it was recently April Fool's Day. But what are some of the great April Fool's Day jokes that you've seen? Not from this year, but from like all time.
The presidential election 2016.
Oh.
I don't know.
I'll go first just because I saw one recently. And it was the other day. It was just this past April Fool's Day, so 2 days ago. One of the papers around, I'm not sure which one in the sporting news, because we have no baseball, they thought it would be really funny to do a baseball transactions list. So they had a breakdown of all these different baseball transactions, and it was all fictional players. So the Cleveland Indians signed Ricky Vaughn and Pedro Serrano and all these players. And the Mets had Escuela from SNL, and they had the New York Knights signing Roy Hobbs. So it was
Did the
all
Cubs? Did
they
have the Cubs?
didn't have Henry Rowengartner.
What? How
I was
did they have
disappointed.
that?
I completely agree. I was very disappointed in them.
That's
But they had
unreal.
the Tampa Bay Rays calling up Eddie Calvin Nuke LaRouche from AAA Durham, so that was funny. But But they had a whole list of them. There was about 10 different teams.
I'm not sure if anyone here watches Nostalgia Critic, but one of my favorite jokes is still when he's reviewing 90s sports movies, he talks about Rookie of the Year, and he's like, yeah, this is a movie about a kid who an actual baseball team hires him. I mean, what team could be doing so poorly they would hire a kid, and then just Cubs logo, and he's like, you sure it isn't a true story? Oh, man.
No, Moonlight Graham didn't ever get in that bat in the majors, Frank. Come on.
He flashed away after he patted a girl on the back and she spit up a hot dog, okay?
But he did get to wink at him.
He winked. Don't wink, kid.
But yeah,
Fool's Day joke.
Go on, man.
It was Jeremy Johns. Jeremy Johns just did it on Wednesday. He reviewed Batman and Robin, but he did it in like a parallel universe from 1997 where like they loved the movie. It's the funniest thing in the world to hear him talking about it, and I implore everyone to go watch it because it's hilarious for him to just be like, look, Arnold Schwarzenegger, there's no one better who could have played Mr. Freeze than Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's just
it's not wrong.
It's not. Do you know why? Because he got training to be a scientist in junior earlier in the 90s. He was prepped for it. Okay? He should have been given an Oscar for that role. Amazing. Beautiful. And I cry watching that performance. I'm crying. I can't. I'm crying right now thinking about it. You know? At the end of the movie, when he goes, thanks to these, I call me in the morning. Will you help me?
But on that note, one of the greatest April Fool's Day joke that I did see from this week is over on, to give some shout out to Multiplex. Over on Multiplex, Cody does a show called Your List Sucks, and he set the topic best superhero movies. So he got his panel assembled and got them on. Then he said at the start, "You're all trick. This is now real superhero movies, but you can't change your list. You have to argue your best movies as if they were your words."
That's good.
Slow clap for that, Cody. That's great.
And which was funny because Coho usually has some hot takes and some of the ones he enjoys, like Watchmen and Megamind. So some of them were in there, which is really funny.
You should have he should have pulled like all right guys, instead of best superhero movies, it's best British periods, and you have to use all of these same exact movies. So why is The Dark Knight the best British period drama? I would love to see an argument for that. That'd be amazing.
I mean, but the other one is one that I did actually miss this year when they decided not to do it due to everything else happening. Is Google usually has a lot of great April Fool's Day jokes, whether it's the Pac-Man on the Google Maps, or I think there was a Pokemon one as well at one stage. But Google usually does a whole lot. But one that actually our newspaper did a long time ago that actually got one of my family members was one of the breweries over here has a tap outside where they dispense water, but their joke was for a limited time we're giving away free beer. It's this tap right here with free beer written on, which was just the water taps. So it had a long line of people waiting just to get buckets, jugs of water out of this tap because they thought it was going to be free beer. That surprised me the amount of people that was tricked by that, but that was just real. And it wasn't until we watched the news.
So Malcolm, were all those people standing online like, "My precious, the beer, we were part of the camp"? I just assume everyone in New Zealand is a Lord of the Rings character.
Did no one like in front of the line just tell the person behind them, "Yo, it's water"? Did they just like keep going?
No, there is a thing where you can give someone apple juice, tell them it's wine, and they could get mentally drunk. What if they just bought him his beer and they're just like, "Oh, this is real watered down shit"?
I believe it, but wow.
Yep. He also got a jet. He also got to say who could do catering on the movie. And you know why? Because he's Arnold. I figured it out, It's amazing. And Josh Schumacher, I was the one who said put the nipples on the bat suit. It would look so much better.
And it was.
But Brandon, is any great April Fool's Day jokes that you can remember?
Yeah, you want to talk about one of the greatest April Fool's pranks of all time. It's when the New York Mets had a young prospect coming up called Sid Finch. I don't know if you're familiar with this at all, James.
Yeah, he was the second one in the Mets column. Yeah, they had Sid Finch on there.
Yeah, I
could tell that you were going to go there. So
I'm forgetting some of the details, so I'm just going to leave it kind of vague. If you guys want to research the story yourselves, go right ahead. It's really interesting. But there was this whole story coming out about the Mets having this prospect named Sid Finch, and there's a picture.
In Sports Illustrated.
Yeah, in Sports Illustrated, supposedly it's a photo of him pitching barefoot in the snow, and he could throw 100 miles an hour, and it's this most outrageous thing ever, and it's one of the all-time great sports pranks. So, other than the Mets just being a joke, they played a real joke, and you should check it out.
But Manning, I can't remember if you brought up any April Fool's Day pranks you can sort of remember.
I put a whoopee cushion on my sister's seat. Yes. I've never been good at April Fools ever. I've never been good at pranks in general. So, oh well. I guess the biggest prank I don't know I can think of is. No, I can't think of anything really. That's just kind of sad. The fact that I can't think of any major prank heard over there. But oh well, that's just
I need to wait until April 2nd to prank my family.
They don't expect it.
No,
nobody expects April 2nd.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those ones where I'm kind of glad that a lot of the people that would big companies would normally do April Fool's Day pranks sort of didn't this year because of sort of what's already happening and all that. And I know I saw a few people joking about the lockdown being over, which was too soon. And I called them out on it. It's really, you don't.
There's
want
no
to do
fun
that.
in that. The thing about April Fool's Day is it's supposed to be fun. Bruce Campbell, the joke he made, that was funny. And then he had to go back because people thought it was real and he had to apologize. But people saying the lockdown's over, one, no one's gonna believe you're random. Oh, I'm sorry, Johnny Rocket 123 on Twitter apparently knows that the lockdown's over. One, no one's gonna believe you. Two, it's also not funny. Be clever, at least.
Yeah.
We all learn from SpongeBob when April Fool's Day jokes are bad. April Fool's jerk.
That was sad.
Yeah, that was a sad episode.
But yeah, that's pretty much all the topics that people suggested. But so might as well finish off with a couple of games. And I'm going to bring up a good classic, 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. And go on, Matt, you can explain it.
So, how 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon works is you have to say the name of an actor was in a movie with another actor. For example, I would say that Tom Cruise was in Top Gun with Val Kilmer. And then Manning would have to say Val Kilmer was in this movie
right now.
With what?
I'm watching Top Gun right now. See? Look, Top Gun.
Wow. Okay. If it was any other movie, I'd be more upset that when you're on stream with us, you're literally watching movies.
It's just on in the background.
That's how those burning droogs roll.
Back to what I was saying. So then Manning would have to say Val Kilmer was in X movie with this actor or actress. Now, if you can get Kevin Bacon in your movie without starting off with Kevin Bacon, you win a lifeline, which pretty much means if you forget something or you can't name an actor or a movie or something, you don't get knocked out. Franchise rules in effect. That means if you say Harrison Ford was in The Empire Strikes Back with Frank Oz, no more Star Wars movies. With Marvel, we're kind in that it has to be trilogies. So if you say Robert Downey Jr. was in Iron Man 2 with I don't know, Jon Favreau, the Iron Man movies are out, but you can still do like a Cap movie. But if you say Avengers Endgame, no more Avengers movies, stuff like that. Does that make sense? Do I need to explain it more?
I mean, trial and error. Let's see.
Yeah, sure. All right. Well, Malcolm, it's your show, so you figure out the order.
First of all, Brandon, you've never seen Top Gun?
I plead the fifth.
Fuck off of this stream right now in this channel and don't ever come back.
But yeah.
Hey guys, look, it's Kevin Snets, that really good Inner Geekdom player. Brandon, you know him, right?
Yeah, I know him. You know, he's lucky he's never played me. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, he's got a winning record, so I mean, it'll be a while.
I'm 500. That's respectable.
Yeah, but he's wearing a belt, a nice shiny one.
I got plenty of belts. Look at like I have belts right here. Look at like I got some baseball belts. I got like regular belts. There's another baseball. It's a navy blue baseball belt. Oh, here's a royal blue baseball belt.
They're all just Mets colors. He's got
but anyway, the order I'll do would be Matt, Brandon, me, James, and Manning.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Okay, so who to start off with?
How do we start?
All right. Sylvester Stallone was in Rocky 2 with Carl Weathers.
Is it my turn?
Yeah. So now you have Carl Weathers as your actor.
Okay.
Oh, I know where I would go.
Where would you go with Carl Weathers? Where would you take him? Would you take him to dinner first? Would you be a piece of shit?
Wait, what movie did you say, Matt? I already forgot.
Fat Matt and Rocky.
I did not say fat. Okay.
You said Rocky 2.
Star Drew, come on, man.
Carl,
Don't look in the
don't want to go that.
Don't look.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go this way. Screw it. Carl Weathers was in Happy Gilmore with Adam Sandler.
Nice.
I was gonna go that movie with a different
solid wood. Truck just drives over.
Adam Sandler was in Click with Sean Astin.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh my
Actually,
God,
I think I might be wrong.
Wait.
I don't think Sean Astin.
He was not in Click.
He was in 50 First Dates.
Oh,
yeah.
Still...
But no, wait.
No,
No.
no. He played the storming coach.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, he played
coach?
the new husband. Yeah,
He was in both of those.
He's the reason why Adam Sandler has a heart attack in that movie.
Okay. So Sean Astin.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Don't be a jerk, Janine. It's my job.
Sean Astin was in Goonies with Martha Plimpton.
What the hell, man?
I don't know who that is.
You're a mean man.
I'm out. Obviously,
Yeah.
before I even start. Man, I don't even know who that is. Okay, cool. So this is fun, guys. Thanks for playing with me.
Was she okay? I do have a question. Was she?
What does she look like?
There's two girls.
She was the one with
Lucas? No, it's the other one. Yeah, it's the blonde. Yeah, I only know her from Raising Hope. That's the only other thing I know her from.
See, that's the problem. A lot of 80s movies. If you can give me some nice, like, maybe like, I don't know, 50s, maybe like
then just give Manning pre-sound films. That's right up his alley.
No.
When he went to sound, everyone went to shit for him.
She was in Frozen 2. Martha Plimpton was. She played Yelena.
Really?
I was hoping to be like she was like random royal person 4 or something. Like she came out and just said a line.
Okay, then may I have a freebie this one round? Because I got a horrible pick this one.
I will give a freebie to you, man.
Thank you. Okay, so Frozen 2, Martha Plimpton in Frozen 2, with Sterling K. Brown.
Sterling K. Brown.
I love how we all have our specific areas where we know stuff, and then
He's in Frozen too.
Yeah,
Who's he in Frozen 2?
he's like
the
the
guard.
The guard, yeah.
Oh yeah.
His name I
King's
don't know.
guard.
I don't fucking know. I can't think off the top of my head.
Can I give
you a movie.
This is not how the game's supposed to be played. But sure, if you want to give me a movie.
We'll be
Sterling K.
kind.
Brown. Say Sterling K. Brown was in Waves. No, find out who else was in Waves. Go for it.
That's the movie you gave him.
Yes,
I'm out. I mean, I'm out anyway. So
it's a brand new movie. It's a new release. You should know this.
now we're gonna do what I normally do when I get out, which is look at the actor and immediately go, "Fuck, he was in that."
Yep, that's exactly what's gonna happen.
Well, wasn't he in Spider-Verse?
No,
No, he was.
No,
He was in
No.
Black Panther.
he's not in Spider.
He's not in
He was in
Spider.
Black Panther, yeah.
You know what?
He's not in a lot of movies that I know, so I don't feel that bad that I forgot him. But he plays Killmonger's dad in Black Panther.
No, you're right. Mahershala Ali.
All right, so I don't feel terrible. That I couldn't give up.
Which means Brandon gets to start fresh.
Yeah, Brandon gets to start fresh.
Start
Even though
fresh?
technically I should have started fresh because fucking man.
Like I could pick any actor ever.
Listen,
Yeah, okay.
I'm out
So
next
what
round, I
happens
know
now?
it.
So what happens now, Brandon, is because I'm out, everything's reset, which means all the movies and actors that are used before, they're back in.
Okay.
So you can just pick whatever random combination you want of actor and movie.
Oh wow, this is exciting. I'm gonna say Ewan McGregor is in The Men Who Stare at Goats with George Clooney.
I'm sorry, on this channel we say his name like Ewan McGregor. Oh,
Ewan
Ewan
McGregor.
McGregor.
No, we don't. What?
Oh, that's
What?
an old stream you can
I was
find
about
on
to say.
here. Just me like losing my shit about the Obi-Wan series. And
Oh,
just
He
yeah.
calls
saying
himself
that.
a Jedi in that movie. It's very meta.
George Clooney was in
Can we say he's Batman?
Ocean's 11 with Don Cheadle.
Oh, can I think of a random Don Cheadle role?
Oh,
I got
no.
one.
God.
I got a few, man. Let's go.
Oh,
James does this every time he's on this damn show. He tries to think of the
it's
most
the object
random
of the
movie,
game.
so he
It
kicks
is.
people
He's playing
out.
the game right.
Like,
It's the object of the
it's
game.
supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be, oh, cool. James can like look at his DVD shelf and just randomly pick a movie.
They're behind me. I'm not looking at anything.
Unless you have a mirror.
Oh God! All right, Don Cheadle was in Avengers Endgame because I can't think of anything right now.
Oh.
With Winston Duke.
Okay.
Oh,
Winston
he's
Duke-
barely in Endgame. Come on.
well,
He's in
he
it
does
though.
exist. He does exist in it. So Winston Duke was in Us with. Do I go the easy route or do I go? Let's go for Elizabeth Moss.
Whose turn is it now?
It's yours, Brandon.
yours.
'Cause I got
It's
knocked out.
you got knocked out. Okay, Elizabeth Moss is.
This could be bad.
Elizabeth Moss is in The Kitchen with Melissa McCarthy.
Oh, okay.
Melissa McCarthy was in The Heat with Sandra Bullock.
I forgot that movie existed.
Oh, that's a great movie.
Sandra Bullock only makes big movies. Damn it. Oh, crap. I wish I could remember his name. Damn it. I can't think of his name. All right. Sandra Bullock was in... She was in A Time to Kill with Kiefer Sutherland.
Ooh. Shoot, I keep thinking of 24. Oh, no.
Hey, there's one great film with Kiefer Sutherland and another great actor.
There's a couple. Kiefer
I've
Sutherland
got
was in several.
No,
good
but I'm
movies.
thinking one specifically.
I'm thinking of one specific one too, and it has several good actors.
Well, mine does as well.
I'm thinking of one specifically as well.
I'm blanking on all Kiefer Sutherland films. I can just blank, like,
the three of us are like, we all got one.
24 and Halo. That's it. Why is that it? No, I know there's film that's like, and of course, Designated Survivor. Why is that?
All right.
I know. Why is the only things that are coming to my mind right now? Oh shoot! There's a 90s film with him in it that is like just right there, and I can't like grab it. It's just like there's something there.
You're out of here.
I know. Give me 5 seconds to figure it out. If not, then oh well.
Just gave you 5 seconds, and you were out of here.
He was literally
Okay, I'm out.
counting. Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, no, I'm
Kiefer
out. What is it?
Sutherland was in the
Tell
Three Musketeers with
That's
Tim
the one I was
Curry
thinking
or
of.
Charlie
Oh, I've never seen
Sheen
it.
or
He was
Oliver
Oliver
Platt
Platt.
or
He
Chris
was in-
O'Donnell.
He was in Phone Booth with Colin Farrell.
That's
Rebecca
what I was
Jordan.
There's
wondering.
another 90s
Yeah,
movie.
Rebecca
The
Jordan.
Lost Boys.
That's it. That's the one. Okay, that was the one.
Oh, Tim Curry.
And it also
Never seen The Musketeers.
Oh yeah, he was in both of the Young Guns.
Yeah, Young Guns.
That's right.
Stand
Yeah.
by Me.
Stand by Me. That was one. That was
It's been a
one.
long-
Which
I don't see
means
a lot of action movies. Wow.
once again, Brandon starts fresh.
Oh wow. What to do? What to do?
Man, he's just,
All right.
that's my favorite part of 6 Degrees is just when you get out and you just look up the actor, you're like, fuck, he was in that?
Let's see.
I was like-
Margot Robbie was in The Wolf of Wall Street with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, okay.
Leonardo DiCaprio was in.
It's like, what do you pick?
You almost make it too easy for them. They don't know what to do.
What's Eating Gilbert Grape with Johnny Depp?
That's exactly what I was thinking. Oh, so good.
I mean, there was another one I was thinking of. I couldn't think of another actor in it.
Who's that?
Johnny Depp was in Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl with Jeffrey Rush.
I could get this one. Oh man.
God, I wish I had Johnny Depp. That would have been good. But Jeffrey Rush was in The King's Speech with Colin Firth.
Damn it. I was hoping you would forget the King's Speech because you wouldn't be able to get anything else.
Colin Firth was in Mary Poppins Returns with can't think of the name of the actor I was going for, so I would say Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Oh, I was mad about that one. I was hoping you wouldn't pick Lin-Manuel.
I've
My
got one.
Elvis.
Oh, I've got one.
Turntables
Oh man,
have-
James, I keep wishing I was in your spot, man. Damn, I've got one.
Oh, Lin-Manuel. What the hell is he been in?
Isn't it funny when what James does to other people has James?
No, I have one movie like in my head, but I don't think.
Yeah, but it's not coming out of your mouth, and that's not how the game works.
No, he didn't do a speaking role in it, and that's the thing. He wrote the songs.
I'd allow it if he was physically in there but didn't say anything. I don't know what the rules are. But
I'm
I'd
sure
be-
he's got like
It's
staying in
an
the
actor
background.
a movie.
All right,
Somewhere.
Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote and sang the songs for Moana.
He's
Yeah.
not in the fucking movie.
He
What's
sings
the
the
That's not how
songs
the game
in it.
works.
No, he sings the songs in
That's
Moana.
not how the game works. That's
His-
like
his
saying I
voice-
can't like
his
John
voice is-
Williams conducted the music.
No, his
to
voice is in
Star
the
Wars.
movie.
Come on, that's not James. You know, you've played this game multiple times. You know that's not how it works.
I don't know.
You
I'm
know.
okay with it.
His voice is in the movie.
He's also, although if you don't pick Moana, I'm looking at his filmography right now. They say like his role is
I know additional voices. Yeah,
but there is a specific one that he voiced in another movie that's not animated that he was in that has a name.
No, that's the only one I can think of right now is Moana. So
look, Malcolm, it's your show.
It's you.
I'm the creator of this game.
He didn't have a voice in it. He sang the song so well. You roles so well. You are technically yeah.
Okay.
But he did have cameos in both Force Awakens and Rise of Skywalker.
Yep. That's
where I would have gone.
I did not know he was in either of those.
Yeah.
But
it's a blink and you miss it type moment in Rise of Skywalker, but he's there.
All right. He sings a song in Moana.
Hey, I would have given it to you, but it's not my rules.
I left it up to Malcolm, who showed it.
Yeah, we were all like, revolt! Time to revolt, guys.
I mean, to be fair, but yeah.
Malcolm had no explanation. He's like, to be fair, you know what? Fuck it. No, James, you're out.
I mean, it's one of it's one of those catch-22s. Like, I've always understood this game as being they were like acting in it as opposed to sort of just being credited in the movie.
All right.
I mean, just to sort of So I mean, you're not wrong. His voice is in it. He did sing the songs, but like if you look on IMDb, so he's not really. He's only credited for.
Who plays Aladdin in the '92 Aladdin movie?
Scott Weinger.
Yeah, you don't say the guy who did the singing voice.
No, I'm not saying that he didn't. He didn't replace somebody else's voice. He sang like for that song "Away Away." They didn't give those characters names, but he sang that song, so he's literally singing the song in the movie. He was one of the tribal people on the raft when they're singing that.
Additional.
Actually,
it's fine. Go on.
Well, I was about
to
say,
game.
But anyway, it brings us down to just me and Brandon, and Brandon starts fresh again.
All right, I'm going to try to avenge you, James. This is my knockout punch right here, Malcolm. Let's see what you got. Hayden Christensen is in Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, with Ian McDiarmid.
Oh man,
that's a good haymaker. That's a good haymaker.
There's one big one, and that's it. Yeah.
The only thing I can think of was TV.
I mean, I'm going to throw this out there. I don't know if this is going to be right, but I'm hoping he had a cameo in this movie and appeared. Ian McDiarmid was in Fanboys with Seth Rogen.
No.
I don't think he's in Fanboys.
No.
I watched it pretty recently. I don't remember him. We could fact check if you want.
I mean, I'll look it up, but I don't think he was in Fanboys.
He is not.
What is he in?
The only thing,
what I'm thinking of is Dirty Rotten Scoundrels with Steve Martin and Michael Caine. That's the big one.
Really?
Yeah.
I was only thinking of he was in an episode of Young and Ann Jones Chronicles. That's like I can think of him from besides Star Wars.
Hey, which one was that?
But
which one was it? Give me a second. I'll look. I just watched it, so I can find you the episode.
Find me the episode. So then I guess you have a. Is that it?
But might as well do another round. So everyone's back in.
Why not?
And
Adventures in the Secret Service. That was the episode he was on.
And I'm going to start off with. For this one, I'm going to start off with James and do reverse order. Me, Brandon, Matt, then Manning.
Okay.
Oh, and what the fuck is the order?
It's James, me, Brandon, Matt, and then you, Manning.
All right. So Martha Plimpton was.
Nice. Jake throws that again.
He's a really big fan of our work.
I know. Martha.
Oh. Who's going next?
Me.
All right. Samuel L. Jackson. Samuel L. Jackson was in Jurassic Park with Wayne Knight.
Hello, Jerry.
Come on, there's another one with Wayne Knight in there.
I mean, I know the actor. I just can't think of anything else he's been in aside from Seinfeld.
Oh, I know.
There's one. Come on.
There's one that I just thought about.
It hit me.
Wayne Knight was in the never made Seinfeld movie of Seinfeld.
I was Space Jam with Michael
Space
Jordan.
Jam.
Oh,
Yep.
fuck.
Oh, two. Malcolm, take them both.
What was the other one I heard Space Jam? That was the one I was thinking of.
Tarzan. He's the voice of
Tarzan.
Mentor.
That's
Oh
right.
yes, that's right.
That's
Also, Stardust they've thrown out Punisher and JFK. I don't know if he was in them.
Punisher?
Punisher. He's in Punisher.
Which
What?
one? There's 3.
The Thomas Jane one, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Um,
better be
Actually,
right.
Sergio, Punisher 1 was released in the 1980s.
Well, actually, if you're counting the Dolph Lundgren
We
version.
don't, which we do count.
Janine was right. Toy Story 2. That's another voice. That was another good
Oh
voice.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Wayne Knight was also in Hercules. Oh shit, he was in the Brave Little Toaster.
He was?
He was in the Brave, specifically Brave Little Toaster Goes to Mars. He was in Tarzan. He was out in Toy Story 2. He was in Rat Race. He just uncredited and Cheap Bond doesn't, but Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah, he's the guy hanging the chandelier. Thing falls off and breaks again. That's right.
He was in Blind Spotting at Hail Caesar.
Wow.
Wow.
I like how Wayne Knight's had a far bigger career than we all decided to remember. This
Yeah, I know.
I feel so bad. I was like, besides television, I was like, Space Jam.
I mean, I'm annoyed I forgot he was in Toy Story 2, to be honest.
Yeah, I know. I
All right.
Which means Brandon starts fresh again.
Oh man, what to pick? There's so many movies, and actors.
Hey, what part in Top Gun are you up to, James?
I got it.
Oh, the death scene already happened? I don't want to spoil it for anybody.
Oh, okay.
Harrison Ford is in Raiders of the Lost Ark with Karen Allen.
Ooh. I miss Karen Allen. She didn't get to do enough stuff.
No, she didn't actually.
Have a good one for her.
Unless is it me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Karen Allen was in Scrooged with Bill Murray.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a she was. Oh wow. No, yeah, I'm just trying.
Good Christmas
now,
story to
I am now marveling at the fact that she was even in that. I was like, oh wow. Let's see. Bill Murray. What do I want to pick today? Let's go with Bill Murray was in The Life Aquatic with Owen Wilson.
Wow, that's just an amazing choice. Wow. Okay, Kermit.
Kermit the Frog here.
Hey, where?
I like playing these sorts of games.
Oh, don't start. Vinny would show up.
What was that? Where'd that come from? I was not prepared for that.
What do you mean, Vinny? How long have you been a part of this channel, man?
No, not Vinny, but I didn't hear anyone say anything, and I was like, wait, what? I just heard a voice. I didn't see anyone's mouth moving. I was like, what?
Oh, James is still trying to figure
James,
out.
I've never
Oh yeah, wait a minute. Yeah,
He's never seen an Owen Wilson movie before.
Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson was in Wedding Crashers with Lucy Lawless.
Who's she?
Okay.
Wedding Crashers.
She plays Kitty Cat.
Lucy Lawless has a cameo in. Let's see.
Only one movie I figured out where she has a cameo.
In Spider-Man.
Guy of 8 hands.
with
Pretty hot.
Tobey Maguire.
Oh, that's Lucy Lawless. Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, then.
So I got Tobey Maguire. Tobey Maguire was in Pleasantville with Reese Witherspoon. Oh, God, I hope I got that right.
Yes.
Okay.
You are right. And Reese Witherspoon was in which one do I want to go with? Eeny, meeny, miny, moe, catch a mouse, and you are not in. Walk the Line with Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh my God.
Hey, I didn't have a pun this entire time.
How could you say something so controversial yet so brave?
I have a good movie for him, but not with Brandon coming up after me. I'm going to do it anyway, just because it's the first thing I thought of. Joaquin Phoenix was in Inherent Vice with Catherine Waterston.
Okay. Do I want to go the obvious James route that he's thinking I'm going to go? or do I want to go somewhere else?
Go obscure.
Shut up, Manny.
Yeah.
Go mainstream. Go mainstream.
Okay. I'm going to go.
I don't know what that's in reference to.
Oh,
whoops.
I was gonna say, I don't remember Lucy Lawless in Wedding Crashers.
Lucy Lawless, James Seymour, same person.
This whole game is booked.
Well, implode it all.
Well, I mean, I don't know what to do now, but Catherine Waterston.
I will say that it's because James was wrong on that.
But nobody called me out.
No one called him.
There it is true. No one called him out on that. Even though I mean,
to be fair,
and I knew that.
It's fine, whatever.
I'll let it slide. I'll let it slide. Just because it never sort of came. Yeah. I mean, but next time.
I got my 90s TV actresses mixed up between Dr. Quinn and Xena.
Yeah, they're very easy to mix up. Those characters are very, very similar.
Also, Lucy was Ron's wife in Parks and Rec.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, that's it.
So one of the best moments is when they're like, "What's your middle name?" She's like,
Anyway, it's Brandon trying to speak.
So Catherine Waterston is in Logan Lucky.
Yeah.
With Channing Tatum.
Okay, Channing Tatum was in This Is the End with Jay Baruchel.
Jay Baruchel. Jay Baruchel was in How to Train Your Dragon with America Ferrera.
I did it for you.
Love that series.
America Ferrera is on Superstore. With oh God, nope, I'm out.
I did it. Revenge.
Oh man.
I mean, I start fresh again.
It does. Also,
actually, I'm just curious. What is she in? Besides that,
also, I will say with Brandon being an IG, competitor, I'm surprised he did not go the obvious Fantastic Beasts.
Well, that's why I set him up for it, and that's why he flipped it.
Yeah, exactly. He set me up for it, and I'm like, no. I was gonna go.
It also helps that we just watched Logan Lucky like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
America Ferrera was the sister of the Traveling Pants.
Yeah, I just saw it. I'm like, obviously not my demographic, but it's there. I should have known that.
I was gonna go Alien Covenant, but I was like, wait, me and James just watched Logan Lucky a couple weeks ago, so I'm gonna go with that. So let's see. What to do? Dan Fogler was in Fanboys with Kristen Bell.
Kristen Bell was in Frozen with Adele Dazeem or Adele itself. I've heard it both ways.
Adele Dazeem was in Enchanted with Timothy Spall.
Ooh.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that. Like someone said that to me.
Right?
I was like, holy shit, yeah, that was her.
Okay.
Or I knew she was Adele Dazeem.
Yeah.
Was he in that movie too? I think he was, but
I'm gonna be so disappointed in you, Brandon.
Yeah,
he's trying not to go the obvious route again.
Yeah. I think. No, I gotta play it safe.
Play it safe.
Timothy Spall was in Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban with
Any British actor?
Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman.
But Timothy Spall, was he in the King's Speech? That's what I was thinking.
He was, yes.
I
He was.
was gonna go King's Speech again.
In the same year that in the same year that Prisoner of Azkaban came out, he was also in another literary version of events.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Interesting.
Alan Rickman was in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves with Kevin Costner.
Ooh, you should.
I just saw that
Right.
last week.
Right.
The first time. That's a movie.
Sorry, like this game to last longer than 5 minutes, James.
Rickman is fantastic in that. Anyway, Kevin
I'm gonna
Costner.
cut his heart out with a spoon. Why a spoon, brother? It is dull, you nitwit. It will hurt more.
He's great. Anyway, Kevin Costner. Shoot, what's his name? I can't go in that one. Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm super basic because I can't remember the other guy's name in Dances with Wolves. Kevin Costner was in Man of Steel with Michael Shannon.
Michael Shannon was in Knives Out with Ana de Armas.
Ana de Armas was in Blade Runner 2049 with Robin Wright.
Ooh, good one. Also, Janine, I never watch baseball movies. I don't like baseball that much. I'm sorry. I know. When you guys kept talking baseball this entire time, I'm like, what are they talking about? I have no idea. It's foreign. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Kearns, what was your one you picked? Robin Wright?
Robin Wright.
Who was the person you picked with her? So I don't know how to pick that.
Ana de Armas.
Ana de Armas with Robin Wright. Robin Wright. I was about to say The Princess Diary. The Princess Bride. With Wallace Shawn.
Oh,
inconceivable.
What is this
there's
guy
one
in?
I'm picking up for Wallace Shawn.
Oh, I have a good one for Wallace Shawn.
There's a big one.
Or a small one. If we're thinking of the same one.
What is he in?
Very accurate.
I'm gonna be so mad when I find out.
I mean, there's actually a couple movies made from the same company that's has them.
Are we gonna help him, guys?
Yeah, what the
Wait a
what?
minute.
You're gonna start paying like hot and cold with him? I get it, Malcolm. It's a Schmodown star. You know, you wanna just wanna make them feel welcome so they come back, but fuck that.
Oh no. No, stop it. Stop it. I am not John Roca. Okay, this is actually the shirt that I wore when I betrayed John Roca. Okay, no.
Stop stalling and pick a Wallace Shawn movie.
Fuck's sake.
I know he's in movies. I've seen them.
I know he's a working actor, so I know he's in things.
Is he? No, he's in a thing. No, I'm gonna be so mad
You're
when you
out of
start
here.
naming
Wallace
the
Shawn
movies.
was in
I'm
Toy
done.
Story with Tom Hanks.
Yes.
He plays Rex.
There was also Clueless.
A Goofy movie.
He was also in The Incredibles.
He was in Marriage Story recently.
Oh, you're right. Yeah,
I remember seeing him be like, "Oh, it's Wallace Shawn."
he was in My Dinner with Andre.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
All right. So now it's just me and Manning.
Yep.
All right.
Okay. This is gonna be interesting. So
Yeah.
who starts? Me or
I start.
Yeah.
Okay.
all right.
Who do I want to say? John Candy was in Spaceballs with Rick Moranis.
Like, I know the movies he's been in, but I'm trying to think of the people that actually Rick Moranis worked with. Oh, Spaceballs was the good one. No.
No.
I mean, if you wanted to change it so that
No. Ghostbusters. Rick Moranis was in Ghostbusters with Bill Murray. There we go.
Okay.
Easiest one.
Whew.
Not what I should have gone
I
with.
was actually thinking, honestly, I was thinking of Parenthood was the first one I thought of. Bill Murray.
I was gonna say you should say Strange Brew with Dave Thomas and knock Kearns out.
Bill Murray was in St. Vincent with Melissa McCarthy.
Melissa McCarthy was in Bridesmaids with Maya Rudolph.
Maya Rudolph was in MacGruber with Val Kilmer.
Back to Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer was in
James, it's like he's on my TV.
I was about to say Val Kilmer was in The Prince of Egypt with everyone's so famous in there. That's not fair. I thought it was gonna be a trump card. Everyone's famous in that movie. With who's the least famous person in that movie? This is gonna be Michelle. Sandra Bullock. I don't know. They're all famous.
Sandra Bullock was in oh my god, no. All right. Sandra Bullock was in Speed with Jeff Daniels.
Jeff Daniels was in Because of Winn-Dixie with Anna Sophia Robb. Why do I know that? I don't know.
I have no idea. Fuck you, Manning.
Good job. Anna Sophia Robb was in Bridge to Terabithia with Josh Hutcherson.
Oh yeah, that bitch.
And just to sort of bounce off a question in the chat,
Glad I got that.
with our game of 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, if they can link it to Kevin Bacon, they get a save and save themselves being eliminated.
I forgot about that rule.
Yeah,
me too.
Yeah.
I was too busy winning the first match to think about it.
Which is why I was surprised that when Matt threw out Kevin Costner, Manning did not go Kevin Costner, it was a JFK with Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
Bacon and JFK. I've only seen the movie once.
Kevin Bacon's in JFK?
Are you thinking of A Few Good Men?
No, I literally looked it up, and
I don't
they
remember him
were
in
there.
that.
Again, I only saw it once, so I'll defer to you. But
anyway,
good job.
that does bring us to the end. I will actually figure out a topic for next week, so we don't have a random show like today. But in saying that, it was still a lot of fun. We got a lot of good discussion out there, regardless. But Brandon, where can people find you online?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at BrandonHanna07. You could also find me hosted in the Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist After Show over at AfterBuzz TV at 10 p.m. Pacific Time Sunday nights, and the Briar Patch After Show at 8 p.m. on Tuesday nights. So if you're looking for something to watch on TV, check those two shows out, and then join me for my after show, and we have fun. And I wear a cowboy hat in one of them, because why not?
Matt, where can people find you online?
you guys, as always, can find me at Kearns_Matthew on Twitter, MattMovies611, and right here as host of Second Look. My episode on the unofficial Man of Steel trilogy still coming together. Like I said at the top of the show, things have been a little hectic. I've had to rearrange, as you guys all know, but it's still coming, and I'm really excited to share it with everyone. And as always, I'm pretty much here every week on late night because I was prepared for COVID-19 because I already didn't have a social life, so I haven't lost anything.
Manning, where can people find you online?
You can find me here on Take 3 Productions channel, hosting Gone with the Wind, where we every bi-weekly. I think we be fine. Bi-weekly is the right. That's right, Malcolm. Right?
I mean, bi-weekly, bi-monthly. I think there's still that discussion. But
every other week. How about
It can
that?
mean both.
Exactly, which is very confusing. But every other week, you can find me hosting Gone with the Wind with Malcolm being a panelist, Abe and Ryan.
Yeah.
Kearns was on a podcast actually with us.
Oh yeah, I was on a podcast.
Star Wars related. You know, hey, if we
I
come
was
back
on
to
two of them actually. Thank you very much.
two, oh,
Yeah, I was on the Once Upon a Time. Wow. Okay. Fuck
oh
you
yeah,
too,
you were.
Manny.
You were.
Yeah.
You actually
Uh-huh,
provided a good conversation. It's your favorite
We're
movie.
gonna have a conversation
Anyway,
about your future
find me
at
on
Take
Twitter.
3 after this.
Oh dear. Cine_man, that's CINE_MAN, and my YouTube channel, Manning Franks, where I post video essays and related things. Actually, this week, video coming out, so check it.
James, where can people find you online?
You can find me on Twitter, mostly, also on Instagram at Gator24, which is right there, wherever. I can never find out. Yeah, you can find me there. I'm much more active on Twitter, so follow me over there, and I'll just shoot out my random thoughts here and there. And hopefully, eventually, making a debut on Schmodown. We'll see how this whole thing goes. But yeah, hopefully at some point I'm going to be able to go out there and actually have a match. So fingers crossed.
You better pray to God you don't play me, James.
Oh, you don't want it. You don't want these problems, Hitman, Hot Man, Hat Man, whatever you want to put in there.
And you can find me
choose your own adventure.
You can find me hosting late night every Friday night. And you can also find me hosting Rankum every Saturday night. Tomorrow night at 9 p.m. we've got Elton John songs. So it's going to be a lot of fun with a lot of fun with a great panel as well. But you can also find me hosting Formula Random over on Formula Trivia. This week we're going to have a couple of matches. One is going to be a Star Wars match, and the other is going to be one that I set up. It's the Movies Malcolm Loves match, where I subject people to questions about some of my favorite movies.
He did to me last night, and it's a fascinating arrangement of questions.
Awesome.
But yeah, but until next week, we'll see you and wash those hands.
We still